Hey friends, it's Rana and I'm here today to review one of my favorite series, which is called the Wayward Children series by Shannon Maguire, and I will also be telling you about two different reading order you can read them in. In the series so far we have 6 published books and we don't really know how many books there will be in it, but I heard somewhere that the author Shannon Maguire said that she will keep writing books in this series as long as they are approved by her publisher. All you need to know about the series if you haven't read it yet, it is all about children who suddenly discover doors that lead them to magical worlds that perfectly suit them, or at least most of the time perfectly suit them. And maybe one day these children return to our real world by their own choice, or they get kicked out of it for some reason or another. And when they come back to our real world and tell people around them what happened with them and what they experienced there, people of course won't believe them, and their parents might think they are crazy or they got kidnapped or something like that. And these parents sometimes may decide to send their children to Eleanor's West home for wayward children to get them fixed. And in the first book, Every Heart a Doorway, we follow Nancy, who is a teenage girl who for some reason found a door to an underground world, and that world really reminded me of the Greek underworld with Hades and all these things. And because she is a newcomer to Eleanor West's home for wayward children, we get introduced to this boarding school through her and we meet many characters with her. But Nancy finds out that this school, it is not what she thought it is supposed to be. In reality, Eleanor West didn't open the school to fix these children. Instead, she opened it to help wayward children to be in a place that understand them and to let them wait peacefully for their doors to reopen. I love this book. It is my favorite in this series. I didn't read it one time nor 2 times. I read it 3 times, and every time I read it I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. I really love it and love the characters, and especially I enjoyed the surprising, gruesome mystery element in it. And this series is full of diversity. If you are a person who looks for diversity in these books, this series is for you. In this first book at least, there are an ace character and a trans character, and throughout the series there's a lot of representations sprinkled throughout it. There is a fat character, a Muslim character, Latino I think there is also. There's everything for everybody. The second book is Down Among the Sticks and Bones. In this one we follow a twin called Jack and Jill who were introduced in the first book, and in this one it is like a prequel. We get to know about their parents, how they grew up, and how their parents forced them to be the opposite of who they really are. Then we follow their story after they found the door to their world, which is one of the dark worlds. It is a more like world full of monsters, vampires, and mad scientists. And here in this world, the twin get the chance to be who they really are without being forced to be anything else. I give this book 4 out of 5 stars. It was really good. It was even more darker than the first one. The next book is Beneath the Sugar Sky. This one is more light-hearted than the first 2. Here we have an adventure where the daughter of one of the characters of the first book appears and demands to meet her mother. But the problem is that her mother died in the first book. She was one of the characters that died there. I won't tell her name to keep it spoilery free. So this daughter goes on an adventure with new characters and characters who we previously known in the first 2 books. They all go on an adventure to try and bring her mother back to life. The fun thing about this book is that we visit several worlds, not just one, and I really enjoyed that. One of the worlds was made of sugars, sweets, and cake, and it was really fun to read. I give it 4 out of 5 stars, another great installment in the series. The following book is called In an Absent Dream. In this one, we follow a character called Lundy, who we first meet in the first book where she worked as a therapist in the school. But in An Absent Dream, we follow her when she was a young girl, and we follow her own story with a door that led her to a goblin market. I adore this book. It is my second favorite in the series after Every Heart a Doorway. I give it 5 out of 5 stars. I really love Lundy, and she really managed to break my heart, that poor little thing. The fifth book is Come Tumbling Down. This one is my least favorite in the series, not because it was bad, but because it follows the twin Jack and Jill again, and I didn't like them that much in the first place and was really bored to read more about them. Yes, there are other characters with them from the first 3 books, but I don't care about Jack and Jill anymore. I give this book 3 out of 5 stars, and I hope it is the last time we read about them. Please, Shannon McGuire, enough of them. We need new stories of other characters. And the 6th and last published book in the series is Across the Green Grass Fields. In this one, we get introduced to a completely new character, which was really refreshing and I loved it. It is the story of a young girl called Reagan, who is an intersex, which is a thing that I've never read about in literature before. She finds a door that leads her to a world of unicorns, centaurs, and other magical creatures. It was a fun and fast read that was much needed by me. I listened to this audiobook on Scribd after I had my LASIK eye surgery, and I wasn't supposed to tire my eyes with looking at screens or reading. I was supposed to sit in the dark for a whole week after the surgery, so I sat on my bed like a vampire, listening to audiobook after audiobook in the dark for a whole week, and this was one of the books that I listened to. It was a really much needed escape, and I loved it and gave it 5 out of 5 stars. This is all for the published 6 books in the series. We already have a title for the 7th one, which will come out next January. It is called, I think, Where the Drowned Girls Go. I'm really excited for it. And now for the 2 reading orders I have for you today. I heard many people saying that you can pick any book in the series and read it without any problem. Each book in the series is its own story. Don't listen to them, they are lying. It doesn't work with all the books in the series. The first reading order, and the more obvious one, is according to the publication dates. I read the series 2 times from start to finish according to this reading order. I always read it according to publication dates. I always prefer to read according to publication order because it is how the author wrote them and published them, so I think it is the better way to consume the story. And the reading order according to the publication dates is Every Heart a Doorway, Down Among the Sticks and Bones, Beneath the Sugar Sky, In an Absent Dream, Come Tumbling Down, and finally Across the Green Grass Fields. The second reading order is to read it chronologically, i.e. to read the books according to what happened first and what happened second, and so on in the world of the books. This series isn't written or published in a chronological order. The books keep jumping in timelines from the past to future, back to present, and so on. So to avoid confusion, if you are easily confused while reading books that jumps around in timelines, this reading order will suit you more. I've written down the chronological order of these books, but keep in mind that it may change in the future with each book that comes out. But for now, the chronological order is as follows: In an Absent Dream, Down Among the Sticks and Bones, Every Heart a Doorway, Beneath the Sugar Sky, Come Tumbling Down. As for Across the Green Grass Fields, there's no indication whatsoever when it did happen in accordance to other books in the series, because it is a newly introduced character and there's no mention of the school or any previously known characters, so you are safe to read it whenever you want, chronologically at least for now, because it may change in the future, as I said. So that's it for today's video. I hope you liked it and found it helpful. Please subscribe to see my future videos, and I will see you next time. Bye!